that what we're doing now?
Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to Max Crack.
Do you have to call it that?
I don't know. It sounded good to me. First thing I do is take this cheap axe plexiglass out of here. That's the first thing we got to do. Look at this.
You already have an attitude. You already have an attitude about bookers.
I know. Oh, okay, but I'm gonna open mind.
I mean, it is kind of fancy.
Open mind,
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel fancy?
You know what it feels like to me? It feels like if you had a vampire box, except the vampire was broke. That's what it feels like.
That is such great.
This is a broke vampire. He can't afford. He can't afford that kind of 18 shit. He cannot. He can't. Poor.
I will say,
Mr. Brooker. He was a vampire.
I will say it does feel very like it'd easily break this.
Oh yeah. We could crush this. So
maybe while you're, because you still haven't. You got to.
You know what it works good at? It works good as a fan. It really does. Like, Texas heat gets hot. Cool yourself off with the hockey glass bookers.
Oh, Alan, all followers but no real friends like Hack.
Oh,
that's so true. Alan, you're the man. Tim immediately tosses the box.
Of course he does.
So we should say these are all.
There be some music
there's a number of releases.
Oh, it's what is it? Is it clipped in?
Yeah, it's clipped. Which we should also talk about which ones we have.
Oh, so these are hard in here too.
Are there 4 releases every year? You would think we would be more prepared for this segment, but there are. I think there are 4 releases a year, and if not more, and there are special editions and all of that stuff.
Look, that is part of the flack on this sucker. Is that the fact that they call it special and unique, but they release it 4 times a year. If Booker's wants to be, like some of the others, they could just narrow it down to 1 batch a year and like say this is the best of the best, but they do it 4 times a year, so nobody can really keep up. That's part of the problem, I think. But yeah, but this pine box, it's a pine box, right? Like it's a pine box, and the thing about it is it's I don't know, like if somebody rose from the grave, came out of here, but the bottle is actually really pretty. This box cheapens it up. I don't think they need this box. Tim says he gets rid of his immediately, and I don't disagree with that. I'm getting rid of my box.
Little book is once a year.
I'm not big on the packaging. I'm just not.
I do really like the bottle. I like the wax, the little ribbon. I think the Booker's, whatever this font going here is, whatever. But let's talk about the whiskey and what this is. Yeah. So I have the 25-01 Berries batch. What do you have, Hack?
I'm 1 year behind you. I've got the 2401 Springfield batch, and the reason I'm a year behind you is because this sucker has been sitting in my tasting room like it does in most liquor stores that think it's allocated. It's just been sitting there in that casket. I think the casket makes me like a little nervous about grabbing it, but it's just been sitting in there, and I've been wanting a reason to grab it, and now I got it. But mine's a 2024 batch 1. It's the Springfield batch. It does have, this is kind of cool though. It's got a card in here with some master distiller notes. Did yours have this?
Yep. Yeah.
So I didn't even know those were in there because it's just been sitting over there. But mine's 124.5 proof. Mine is only a 7-year, 7-month. What's yours look like?
I got a 7-year, 2-month, which we should talk about what that means, right? Because I think the easy thing to do here, Hack, is 7 years. How much did this cost?
Yeah.
I can get even from the same family, right? You can get Knob Creek, older, which we'll get into that.
Don't say,
no.
If you say Knob Creek, I immediately grab the bottle because I love it. So anyway,
I've got one too here. But just so let's talk a little bit about Booker's. So historically, I think it ranges from 6.5 to 8.5 years. Um, Uncut, unfiltered. So I've got what's yours at? Mine's at I'm like 125.7 here, Hack.
124 and a half. Yeah. 124 and a half.
And I think these are like the honey barrels, right? So this is that's what this is, right? This is the honey barrel LE. That's what they're going for here. I got mine, I think, for $118. Hack, do you remember? Was yours around that? I think that's
100,
kind of
100. Yeah, I think. But I'm trying to remember.
115 something.
Around 100. I think I got mine just over 100.
Yeah. So you're right though about you go into stores and you see these boxes and you think, well, that's if you're newer to the game and you're I would say you kind of always look at these and you're like, oh man, I should get one. That's got to be good, or like a gift, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna see, is it worth it?
Yeah. So I think stories are cool, right? And Tim said it in here. You get a story time with each one, and
It is cool.
The Booker Noe Master Distiller notes on this is that he says this is called the Springfield batch to honor his dad's hometown of Springfield, Kentucky. It's where his dad was born and raised, and he worked on farms there from hayfields to tobacco patches. And this one happens to be made of 5 production dates stored in 4 different warehouses. And 17% of it came from the 5th floor of G, 7% from the 4th floor of H, 31% from the 5th floor of Z, and 45% from the 4th floor of 3. So, like I've studied some of the old Forester stuff, right? Like on the different what the different warehouses mean for those releases. I've never studied this to figure out like, oh well,
Yeah.
But this is from it's from 4 different aging warehouses, and they throw it all together, and he says, and this is, hey, as a dad, this touches my heart. He says, I know Dad would love tasting this batch and sharing stories about his hometown. So, I get behind that. That's a cool story. Like,
Yeah.
Booker's is starting to turn.
It is cool.
After getting rid of the dumb plexiglass, I'm starting to, I'm a little excited.
I know. Yeah, I do think it's cool, and I like the story too. While you're cracking that, Thomas in the chat, I've been buying Booker since they came out in 88, 89. Never had one I didn't enjoy.
There you go.
And I hear that from a lot. I feel like the Booker's crowd are loyal, and I think that's super cool. And I think I would say Beam, when I think of those sort of legacy distilleries, Beam would be the one I probably know the least amount about. And so I'm excited about this. I've had, I think about 4 years ago, I had a Booker's. That's the last Booker's I had. I've tasted many in between. I don't remember mine. I've got 25-1. So maybe I'll just tell you this story. So this is named after Barry's batch. So Barry Barish, the former Beam chairman and CEO, and a dear friend to the nose. So I won't get into the whole thing here, but I think this one is it's a special one. It's for Barry, and then when it first took a sip of this batch, the cozy flavor that filled my mouth reminded me of a chilly January morning, perfect for a good bourbon. So this may not be a summer sipper, but anyway, I think this is cool stuff. And these cards, I like the cards a lot more than I like the box. They put a lot of thought into this, and so, yeah, I think we should just dig in here.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. I poured mine up. I'm gonna let it air for a minute, but I will tell you this, and someone in a different Discord was telling me this, Mac, is that you see how the label is kind of purposely at an angle? There's something to that. Yep. Like they purposely, like they do that for a reason. And I think if you line them all up next to each other, then it kind of does something. But I mean, look, the truth about Jim Beam for me is Jim Beam has been trying to kill me since I was in college. Like, that's just the truth. Like, Beam Beam was like Beam and Coke in college for me was like I mean it was our go-to. Like and I had more Beam and Cokes than a man should be allowed to have. So
Beam and
when I
Coke.
was first got to my bourbon journey, I was like Jim Beam Distillery. What am I going to like from there? And because I just in my mind when I first started bourbon, I thought that's my college stuff, right? And but I have toured Jim Beam. I've toured Jim Beam. I've been to the distillery twice. I've toured it once. And I've got a funny distillery story where they tried to kill us because the air circulation wasn't working and we had to leave there.
Yeah, you
And
told me that.
So the air you couldn't breathe. My wife, other people, they were like start having a hard time breathing because the ventilation from the fermentation tanks was not working. And so the tour guide was weird too. We were like, hey, he's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's not fine because I'm having a hard time breathing. And so we finally got outside, and that's when I made the comment again. I said, Jim Beam's been trying to kill me since college, and people thought it was funny. But I learned during that distillery tour a few years back that I really there's some bangers from them that I really really enjoy, and it's and they're not just the old Jim Beam.
Yeah. I think the difference. So I yeah, I think I had a similar story at Jim Beam before. Jim Beam was a mixer or a shooter, back before I started really getting into some of their special stuff. And so I think also we have to talk about the nut, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of kind of I think the one thing that people who are Beam haters, the nut, the peanut. I think people say they get a peanut taste, and I do in different ways from different bottles, different batches. I don't mind that to a certain extent. Sometimes sometimes I do, but
Yeah.
You get that too, Hack?
Yeah, I mean, you know this, right? Like you sent me a bottle that was completely blank,
Yep.
and you said, "Hey, I want to know if you figure this one out." I think it was testing our friendship. Honestly, I think you like wanted to know if I knew what I was talking about. But so you sent me this blank sample, and it took me a minute. But as soon as I got that nutty kind of nougat thing, I was like, "That's not great." And and lo and behold, it was. And you told me I said that fools some people, but I
thought I had one that fooled
with all the Jim Beam stuff, like it. Yeah, it stands out. The nose on mine is very nice. This 24 Springfield is very nice. It's just there's nothing off putting. It's light vanilla. It's not deep vanilla. It's not a deep notes at all. It's no one of the things on tasting notes that when you're doing them live, it's so hard to talk about the intensity or not. With this one, it's a light vanilla. Yeah, it not a lot of oak, maybe a little, but the prominent, more intense note reminds me of God, is it, what are those sugars? Brown sugar is one thing, but it's when you take the sugar cube and you it's kind of got that sugar cube kind of thing. And I know that like a sugar cube to me smells a little different than brown sugar. But that's what I get on it.
Like a white sugar cube? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get any never mind, I'll let you keep going.
There's the nut. There's the nut.
Did you get it on the nose?
Nuttiness and all in the flavor. 100% nuttiness. Like it is a Beam product through and through. And it's really nutty. Like super nutty. Like God almighty, that's nutty. That's like it's like payday. It's like payday. Like yeah.
You like paydays?
I like this. I really do.
Okay.
I really do. What's weird too is on a lot of the Pursuit double oaks, I get nuttiness on too, which is weird. And I know I don't think that they're not buying anything from Beam. I don't think Pursuit is, but
I get that.
The nose is not great. The nose isn't great. I'll be honest. The flavors is fantastic.
Just light.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say when I poured this Hack, 122 proof, or sorry, 100. I think mine's 120. What did I say? 125.7. it was pretty light looking. I think the camera here doesn't really show how light color mine is. Yours definitely, yeah, that looks to me young
7 year,
on the first
7 years.
glance.
Yeah.
And when I'm paying over $100, I want a little, and I get cast strength. I want some darker color. I want some legs. So I was really skeptical. And then let me just I'll get into my notes here really quick. Hack.
Yeah.
While
you're
this
doing
is
your
super
notes,
sweet.
do you want me to talk for a minute, or do you want to?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the problem is the finish is very ethanol forward for some reason, and I don't know why. Like it's very, I don't know. It's like you don't get it on the nose as much, but the finish is just, it's long, but it's not pleasing long. It's good long, but it's not. It's just. It's a strong finish. It's a very strong finish, and it's almost a little overpowering finish. Like it needs more age. 100% needs more age.
That's interesting. So the nose is kind of similar. In fact, it's not a lot of notes aren't coming out at me, right? Like it's just sort of, I get a brown sugar. I do get a little bit of like roasted peanut kind of thing on the nose with mine. And I've had mine open for 2 days, by the way. So a little different than you. You're fresh crack, by the way. So I would maybe say come back to it. So getting into it though, I had like a moment of like, and it took a second sip. My mom's side of the family is from Mississippi, and her father, my papaw, that's what I call him, my papaw. I don't know if anyone calls anyone's grandfather papaw anymore, but
oh yeah,
that's what I call him. He used to make peanut brittle every Christmas.
Ooh.
Man,
my grandma used to make peanut brittle. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I'm telling you, this brings me back.
And you slap the pan, and it all breaks up.
Yeah,
you grab the pieces. Oh, fantastic!
This is like a special. So I kind of got like brought me back. Like,
I love those
so it has
nuts. I love that.
So this one actually, at first, the first sip of it, I thought it was a little watery. And then second sip, all of those sort of memories started rushing in. And I have a connection out of this bottle from that. I get that with some Beam products. This is the best part of Beam to me, which my favorite, the best Beam ever is Hardin's Creek Claremont that I have. That's like non-dusty, but I know I've talked to your head off about that hack, but
yeah,
that is like the ultimate. This though is still really good, and I get for me peanut brittle, which is awesome. So
that's a great note. Like for me, like this is not bad. Like it's not. It's good. It's good whiskey, but because it's in this fancy box, because it's presented in a certain way to be special, it sets my expectations at a higher level than what I am getting. Now, and please, Booker lovers, don't hate me. I've heard that this year, the 2024 versions, that the 3 and 4 were better. And I don't have those. This is my first ever Bookers, but it needs more age. It's got a great mid palate. The finish is too much ethanol. It's like it got to burn. It doesn't need to have it 120 proof. The nose is very light. That's my take. I'd probably give this like a 6.5 rating, something like that. Like it's not bad, but for what you spend, it's not. That's not. I want to do this next so bad, and I haven't cracked this yet. One? So when I was telling you about my Knob Creek visit, they have when you do the distillery tour, they have a bottle your own thing, where you can bottle your own, and I think it's a single barrel 120 proof 9-year. That being a 7-year, I want to try this next to it. But here's what I don't know. I'm not educated enough to know. Are the mash bills different on Knob Creek and on Booker's?
That's a great question. I don't think so, but someone could probably show me up here.
If it's all right, I'm going to try to figure out. Look at my wax. It's god awful. You can tell I did.
Wait, you did that?
Look at the wax.
I was about to say,
Oh shit! This is gonna be a journey.
what drunk ass did that?
Oh, here we go.
Well, while you're
no
doing
idea how
that,
we're gonna get it. No, I don't. It's a pocket knife thing. I can already tell. I'll be right back.
I've got a, and I'm sorry, my glare in my camera. Just pardon all that. All right, guys. So the one we can still hear you, Hack. This is the part where Hack leaves and doesn't know he's still mic'd up. Let's just hope that he knows he's mic'd up. I've got a almost 10-year Knob Creek pick, single barrel, 120 proof here. Yeah, Booker's and Knob Creek are the same mash bill. Thanks, Anthony. Thomas, I heard that they're having a tequila finish release this year at Booker's. If they do, I won't be picking up. They are. And that's on the release calendar we're going to get to after this. For like $50, you get 120 proof, 10-year, almost 10-year product. That's my thing that I would push back against with Booker's. And I think the Booker's lovers and the friends that are that would say, well, hey, you know, these are sort of like distillery selected, you know, master distiller selected, family selected honey barrels, blended for a specific reason. Like, it might be like, if you're a Beam fan, I think the argument about Booker's is this is the way that you get really that sort of art in blending from the family. So I want to respect that. At the same time, we're talking $100 to $120 coming out 4 times a year, and now you've got these single barrels that can get over 120 proof, older age statements. Hack's got the knife out. I hope he's.
I was working in my garage, and I had my pocket knife. I left it out there, so I'm sorry. Thank you for carrying the show, but I think probably the show is better. I think we picked up like 200 viewers when I left.
No, it's not true. I just don't want you to. Your own, you know what? Your own wax dipping is gonna do you in.
I waxed the fuck out of this, obviously. I wanted it to be bulletproof, and apparently it is. I've got some serious problems. You know,
oh my god, this is.
You should never open stuff
me.
like this live on stream. Are you scared? What are you scared of?
You're gonna hurt yourself.
Oh no, I'm good. Good. As soon as I say that, I'm not myself. I know, just because.
I'm not questioning your skills with the knife. I'm questioning after all these pours.
Oh no. We're good, except I didn't eat dinner.
So I don't know if you gotta find that ribbon.
I'm trying to find it too.
So I just poured my nearly 10-year Knob Creek pick from down here at a Florida store. This is, I should probably call them out. This is the Sunshine Sippers. Cheers to the Sunshine Sippers here in Florida.
Are they a retired group?
I don't know. This is out of Port St. Lucie.
Close. I'm not but a few years from that. I need to find me a retired sippers group in Florida.
I hope. All right. I'm just going to keep getting into this. So, did you hear what I was saying, Hack, about how 120 for Booker's? Mm-hmm. We know what it is. It's a special honey barrel release blend, a masterful blend.
Yeah.
But now you've got these cask picks coming out, older, proof's higher, and now the proof can be higher than 120. I don't know if you knew that this year now.
Oh, they can be.
They're not proofing them down to 120 for everything, which is cool. This is a repeat of the Detling bottle. Yes, I've never seen it. I will say, it's one thing, Detling. Yes, you should struggle to open a Detling.
We found her. Good Lord.
So, I'm glad that. Oh, we got Dave Vogelsang in the chat, by the way. We got Dave Vogelsang.
I'm embarrassing myself.
Good to have you here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassing myself.
And this is Diamond Dave, who picked the Pursuit barrel.
I know, and I got it right back here. Hold on.
So,
I want to get into this.
For those, I love it. This literally has been a 10-minute.
This better be good whiskey. That
What's up, David? Cheers, David.
that was a lot of work. Look, that right there. Where's the bottle can?
I'm just glad there's no blood.
Like a fucking squirrel trying to get a
Jeremy,
nut.
cheers.
Okay, here we go.
We just
Okay, now let's find out.
Diamond Dave in the chat. All right.
So anybody that wanted to know, like, you just joined this Knob Creek 9. I picked it. I didn't pick it. I did the bottle your own at the distillery, so you don't really get a choice. It's just that's whatever they're bottling that day. I do think it's a single barrel option, though. Let me put this knife away before I hurt someone.
Larry, we just got an influx of, by the way,
Yeah.
viewers here. So
Okay.
whoever sent that link out and whoever, thank you guys.
You know what
Cheers.
happened? They're like, this idiot was trying to look.
He's gonna cut himself.
No, exactly. As soon as I had
They
the
want to
knife
see
out,
violence.
As soon as I had the knife out, somebody
Larry,
sent out a
cheers.
message. Y'all, their show's about to get good. Hack is about to hurt himself.
This guy with a cowboy hat's got a knife out to a Knob Creek 9. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Let's bring it back here. We've got Hack and myself.
It's just
we've
better,
got Knob Creek
Mac.
9.
It's better than the Bookers.
What's better?
It's better than the Bookers, Mac. This Knob Creek 9, 120 proof. This Booker's 7-year, 124. I'll take this single barrel all day long. I mean, it's better, Mac. It doesn't have the oak impact you're looking for, but the finish is balanced. The finish isn't ethanol forward. The finish smooths in for you off of you kind of come off of the nut playground slide, right? You just slide right down, and the finish is nice and smooth. Where the Bookers, you go from the nut to it's like ethanol. I don't know why. But that Knob Creek 9, it's fantastic.
In the chat, are those fighting words that at a Knob Creek, single barrel, 120 proof?
Sorry, it's better.
Beats a Booker's. Are those fighting words? I think to some people they are. I'm leaning toward this too because I'm loving this almost 10-year pick that I have from the Sunshine Sippers at 120. I'm trying it right next to the Booker's Berries Bash 25-1. They're very different, I will say, and I think that's one thing where they're different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not jumping all in like you yet, but
no, this
Thanks,
Knob
Jeremy.
Creek, this Knob Creek 9, you know what it does different than the Bookers for me is the Bookers, it has that nutty note, not much of a nose. This one, it's got a nose that sets you up for what you're about to have, so you can kind of smell the sweet caramel nuttiness on it, and then it does like that payday thing on this Knob Creek 9. But then on the finish, it just goes right into just very light oak. It's not a lot, but just enough of the oak impact, the wood impact, so it's not all ethanol.
Yeah.
So that 120 proof is great on this. And I know that they proof it down. But it's just great.
Cheers, Sweet Cindy, too, in the chat, and Big Daddy in the chat.
Right.
Dave's sipping on some Detling Bottle and Bond. I think everyone, though, is saying the same thing. KC9 picks are magic. It's true.
It's great.
It is such a deal.
I need to catch up with the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a bunch
It's
of
such
new
a
people in the
deal.
chat. Hey, thank y'all for being here, man.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
We appreciate y'all being here. Look at this. Jeremy and Chris and Larry. Hey, thank y'all for joining us. We're just nobodies that are out here trying to taste whiskey. I like Knob Creek 9 single barrel that I got at the distillery more than the Bookers. And now can I go to Knob Creek 12? Is that okay? Am I allowed to have that?
Do it. Roll with it.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want, man. It's your show.
No, it's our show. Our show. Our show.
Cheers. I do. I think, man, for like I paid like $118 for that Berries batch, and then I paid $48.99 for this Knob Creek almost 10-year pick, 120 proof. It's not really a competition for me for the price points. I do respect the subtle differences. I think in this Booker, the Booker's is more complex. at the same time, am I going to pay $70 more? I don't know, man. Unless there's something I'm missing and I come back, and I would urge you to hack. Yours is first crack tonight. Mine's been open 48 hours. Things change.
Oh, of course.
In the
bottle.
bottle.
Of course. And palates are different every time. This nose, the Knob Creek 12 nose, it blows these out of the water. Like it's...
Yeah, that nose, man. I don't have the
so
12
good
with me right now.
It's so good.
Yeah, Dave in the chat here. Knob Creek 12 is close to a perfect bourbon. $65 by me. Yeah, it's hard. You're right. It's so, but you're... What is that? 100? What's the proof? It's 100 proof.
It's
right?
100 proof. That's the problem. It's 100 proof. But I'm going to tell you, it punches above its weight, though, right? It's not.
I know. It is hard to beat for that price, like Dave said.
Stranded on a desert island, I can only take 3 bottles of bourbon. I'm going to take this. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 9.
That's going to be one of them?
No, 12. Yeah, I'm going to take that. You're
going to take the 12? You're going to take the 12?
Yeah. Stranded on desert island, 3 bottles. I'm taking Knob Creek 12. I'm taking it because,
it's in the conversation for me.
It's just, I would tell you, Matt, if I didn't have to taste all this different stuff and give notes and I probably don't, but that's what I'm doing. I sound like a pretentious asshole. That's not what I mean. I'm trying to experience a bunch of different whiskeys so that I can give feedback. But if I was done with all of that and I just wanted to sit here and drink bourbon all day with some friends, I'm going to sit here with Knob Creek 12 and just drink it with my buddies all day long. And you're never, ever going to find anything wrong with it.
It's such a solid pour. Yeah, Sweet Cindy said KC12 for $59.99, but I love 120 or higher. And I agree. I think that's where when you start getting into these picks at that price, I kind of lean to. I don't have the 12 next to me, Hack, but
yeah,
I like that extra proof.
No, I don't disagree with the extra proof, but Knob Creek 12 drinks above the 100 proof.
Yeah.
Where it just does. And Knob Creek 9, this single barrel drinks under the proof. It's weird. And then this one at 124, it's probably drinks
sorry
higher.
Guys. Yeah. We had some in the chat. We got our chat bots going crazy.
Oh,
you guys didn't do anything wrong. Wait, they can't post links?
Alan was earlier.
You guys
I don't know. Sorry, guys.
We'll figure it out. But yeah. So sorry, you guys didn't do anything wrong in the chat. Try it again. But anyway, I think, yeah. Oh, we have a 3 bottle, which I would love. I think one of these upcoming streams, Hack, the 3 bottles. If you had if you're on the desert island the rest of your life, you've got it under 30, under 65, and under 100. I think we talked a little bit about this, but maybe that's a future thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of these is going to go in there for me.
I think it'd be fun if you said, hey, you've got $250 and you can only bring 3 bottles to a desert island. What are you going to bring? That would
3
be
bottles?
Fun.
Period.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. So you got $250 budget and all in MSRP price. I don't know. That would be as fun because people would be like, I can get a Dorsey Stag for 104. No, we should probably do true market value.
Yeah.
You should probably do.
So I know we've been. Yeah, so we've been rolling for a little bit. I do want to kind of. I want us to have our final comments on this, on the Bookers, the Beam. I want to put a pin in this.
Yeah.
And then before we go to our final segment here, which is going to be the calendar, which there's some exciting stuff we'd love to hear in the chat too.
Yeah.
And I'm getting asked about the Bookers, the berries batch that I have. Let me just. Yeah. So maybe I'll start, Hack, and then you can finish round us out with our final Knob Creek Bookers segment here. I'll start. What do you think, Hack?
Yeah, you start. Yeah.
So, you could use the Bookers to disinfect an open wound. Big Daddy, it's these are hot.
Who said that? I agree.
Big Daddy in the chat. I mean, he's not wrong, man.
Right there.
When I was checking out, I got this at the Publix in Marathon, Florida, which is cool to grab this, when you're on vacation. And she was like, "You're gonna have to put some ice in that." And I was like, "I know you're not wrong." I was like, "I'm gonna try it though. I'm gonna try it though." Even the Publix lady at the, she knew what she was talking about. But my final sort of like Barry's batch, I really like it. It's been open for about 48 hours now, and like I said, I think it is a really nice blend. It doesn't drink as hot. Like I think what you're saying, Hack, I don't get that like ethanol at the end. I get that sweet peanut brittle, which reminds me of my Papa's peanut brittle, which is kind of maybe why I like it a bit more than maybe others, because it gives me a memory, like a those memories you have that whatever you eat or drink, it gets me there. It's that sweet peanut. It's got the caramel. It's got also like it's not that light roasted peanut. It's a deep dark thing. So I really like the Booker's batch. That being said, and this will be my last thing I say about the Beam piece here, hard to beat a Knob Creek 9 pick for 120 proof at $50. It's just hard, and I respect the blend. If you are a Beam fanatic, keep buying it. And obviously, don't listen to me.
Yeah.
I respect the blend, and if I was a Beam fanatic, I'd buy every one of them. I think though, for me, I really like it. It's hard to pay $70 more than that KC9.
Here's my rundown. I'll be super fast. Knob Creek 12. I'm seeing it on shelves a lot now. I travel all over, and I think the fact that you can find it anywhere in that $50 to $60 range, it's a 12-year whiskey. 12-year whiskey for $60. Now, I understand the 100 proof. I'm not a proof hound, but I don't think that the 100 proof is like something that should keep you away from this, because it's got a little punch on it. It's got something that works. But whoever balanced this whiskey, whoever worked on Knob Creek 12 to say, hey, we're gonna cook this juice to a certain, age, and then we're gonna proof it down. They did it about as perfect as you can do it. Like, because the nose sets you up for the palate sets you up for the finish. And every single time I go through Knob Creek 12, I'm just in love, Mac. I'm in love. It is it's like a payday. It's like a payday dipped in bourbon.
I do love
like it's just so good. Payday. It's just so good. This was my first pour of this tonight. I need to spend a little more time on it. But this Knob Creek 9 120 proof drinks way under 120 proof. So it's super close. So like if I could like separate them a little bit, I would put these higher. I got this at the distillery, so I have no magic here on whether or not that's a good barrel or a bad barrel. It's just I showed up and got to dip a bottle and fill it, and I bought it because I'm a sucker, but I love it. I love it, and I'm going to drink the hell out of it, especially now that I use my pocket knife to open it. The Bookers, I think I'm going to search for some other batches, but for the price and for the selling points that they try to make, I think that once you get it out of that ugly ass pine box casket that it's in with the cheap plexiglass, it's a really, I think the best part about the plexiglass, it gets so hot in Texas that this is a great fan. Like I would give this to Mama Hack if we were outside, and she would be so cooled down from this. But other than that, I'm going to leave the Bookers on the shelf from here on out, and I'm going to let all these liquor stores treat Bookers like it's allocated when I don't know why it is, because every single store you go to, and it's set there. Every single store. I've never been in a liquor store where they didn't have that Booker's box sitting there acting like it's worth something. When, to me, 7-year age statement, over $100, no, not when you can get Old Pit 7 for, well, I know they haven't released enough. I'm going to start a drama.
You're going to,
but 7-year whiskey for over $100, it's got to be special, and this isn't. I'm sorry, it's not. And that's where I land. For this 2024-1. There's probably better batches, but that's where I land. That's it.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to see the, like maybe there's something I'm missing here, right? And there's probably different batches that are better. And I'd love a Booker's 10, like what if let's pull some 10-year barrels. Let's blend some 10-year stuff. Like I could see that being so much exponentially better. But again, they have their products, they have their releases. But if you have one, Hardin's Creek Claremont, if you find that, buy it. It is a top 5 pour for me.
I want that one.
All right.
Well,
this
that's
is
been
fun.
your segment sponsored by Jim Beam. Hey,
I don't know if they would like that sponsorship.
So